That's Detective Joshua.
And this is Detective D.
And this is Georgia Untold, a podcast by two fake detectives unveiling the most compelling, untold, true crime stories based in Georgia.
In November 2021, Atlanta FBI released a statement warning residents of scammers calling and impersonating police officers and asking victims to perform strip searches on other victims and then record it. There was a total of 27 recorded cases across Georgia.
Yes, and so basically what's happening is people are calling, they're saying, I'm Detective so-and-so, this person committed a crime, you need to do a strip search of them, on them, record it, and send it into the quote-unquote police station so that we can review it, right? And so they're not police officers, and police officers don't do strip searches over the phone. And so they're asking these people to do acts, to do things against other people that now have these people that are thinking they're following police orders that are actually committing crimes against other people. So the story that I got this based off of, it comes from a McDonald's in Georgia. The assistant manager there gets this call from a quote-unquote Detective Joe, and Detective Joe says, I'm looking for this young woman. She is 5'6" to 5'8". She's got brown hair and brown eyes, and it's very vague description. He says that he's on the other line with the manager of the store. And so the assistant manager kind of fills in the blanks, and she says, oh, you must be looking for Mary. And so she brings Mary to the back room. She has another assistant manager come to the back on the detective's request. He requests a man. And so the other assistant manager comes back. He asked him to do these things. He asked him to tell Mary to take all of her clothes off, so she's stripped down to being naked. She's like 16, 17 years old. He does these acts against her. He ends up getting arrested, the assistant manager. There's 27 cases in Georgia, but there are so many across America, which was so crazy.
This is a very serious case, not only from the effects and the harm on the individuals, but just from the lack of information about how our security forces such as the police are supposed to function on a day-to-day basis, operate.
And you're brought up to trust the police officer. So if you get a call and say, oh, I'm a police officer, you're automatically going to think, oh, we should just trust this person, even though you got no proof that he's an actual police officer.
That's why you should always ask for their name and badge number and be able to look it up to be able to check to make sure these officers are who they say they are. And in addition, there's a couple other preventative actions that you can take.
Yeah.
Which is don't trust everyone. Ask questions.
Ask questions, please.
And there's also the FBI hotline, which can be found at 1-800-225-5324.
Yes, please call the number. This story is now told. This is Georgia Untold on Owl Radio. That's Detective Joshua.
And that's Detective D.
Welcome to Georgia Untold, a podcast by two fake detectives unveiling the most compelling, untold true crime stories based in Georgia.
Imagine you come home after a long day of work. You're exhausted, so you decide to climb into your bath. Sometime later, you finish up and climb out, only to find your bathroom and the rest of your house smeared in blood. Welcome to the case known as the Blood House of Fountain Drive. Approximately 11:30 p.m. on September 8, 1987, Minnie Winston stepped out of her bath to find her home, 1114 Fountain Drive of Atlanta, Georgia, covered in blood. Her first fear? The health of her husband, William, who often required dialysis. Her next action was calling emergency services, who promptly arrived on the scene.
That is crazy.
Medical examinations by the EMTs on the scene showed no injuries on either Winston. In addition, the police investigation revealed that the Winstons were the only individuals on the property. There were no signs of entry since the security system had been activated at 9:30 p.m. This prompted the investigators to collect samples of the blood, which came back confirmed to be human type O blood, the Winstons both being type A. This stumped the officers, who proceeded to also check the local blood banks but found nothing out of the ordinary.
So weird. Okay, so there's two people living in a house, and the lady goes into the bathroom. If you think about the time it takes you to take a shower or a bath, and I guess she's older, so maybe 30, 45 minutes, but in that time span,
Well, Well, I mean, the security alarm was activated at 9:30, and
Right.
then
Right.
she found the blood at 11:30 p.m.
Right.
So that's about
Possibly 2 hours
An hour
that
and a
somebody
half.
could have been in the house. But I'm thinking if you're going into the bathroom, she would have seen it, right? If it was there.
She should have heard it. At
Or
least.
something, right?
Yeah.
So in the time that you've gone into the bathroom, at least the time if you were in the bathroom, she didn't hear anything or see anything, and then she comes out and there's blood everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yes. No, it's so crazy, in fact, that after the initial investigation, the residents were besieged by reporters and supernatural enthusiasts. And this went on for a time until Minnie eventually told them that she was done answering questions. After this, there was no developments until October 24th, a month later, when Detective Sergeant H.L. Bolton was quoted as saying, "We have not stopped looking because we know houses don't bleed. But we haven't determined that a crime was committed, and that is a primary concern."
Right.
It wasn't long after that the police gave up on the case. There have been no further reported instances of the house bleeding, leaving it till this day listed as unsolved, but not untold.
Oh.
Oh, thank you for listening to Georgia Untold here on Owl Radio. That's Detective D.
And that's Detective Joshua.
Welcome to Georgia Untold, a podcast by two fake detectives unveiling the most compelling, untold true crime stories based in Georgia.
Okay, this week we're going to be talking about the legend of Spook Bridge. Now, Joshua, Spook Bridge is a bridge built in the 1920s in a very rural Brooks County, Georgia, across the Witchalachie River. Around the 1970s, the popularity of the area decreased, and the bridge has a reputation for being a meet spot for cult groups such as Satanists. These types of meetings started rumors that the bridge was being haunted by demons. Knowing all of this, do you think you would visit the bridge?
To be honest, maybe.
What?
It just depends on the circumstance.
Are you kidding? What circumstance?
Like, I don't know, maybe like this show or another show.
To investigate?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
On the ground reporting.
Oh, you do the on the ground reporting, and I'll stay in the studio. How about that?
I mean, I'm gonna have all the cool ghost encounters.
I guess. Yes. Speaking of the ghost encounters, there is so many legends based off this bridge. Okay, so one story that I found, there's this house that's located near the bridge. And there's many rumors about this couple that passed away. One version says they were walking on the bridge, and the husband just pushed the wife off the bridge into the river, and now she haunts the bridge.
That sounds like a movie.
That is a movie, actually. It's called Spook Bridge, based on that story.
Okay. Well, I mean, according to the outline, which we're gonna get to, there's like a lot of like different like legends.
Yes, so
But
that's one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense from like a movie perspective to only focus on one.
Yeah, and so the other legend is says that if someone drives onto the bridge, you can hear screaming and feel vibrations of someone beating on the hood of your vehicle.
So,
Yeah, I will not be driving out anywhere near that bridge.
I wonder if that's the husband.
Ew! Oh my God, could you imagine if it was? So the wife just haunts the bridge, and then if you drive, the husband shakes your car up. Fun, super fun for me. Yeah, not going. The last one says a school bus full of children drove off the side of the bridge, and now those children haunt anyone who walks across the bridge.
So we have the couple.
Yep.
We have either the husband or some other entity.
Possible third ghost, yes.
That's like shaking the cars.
Correct.
And then we have like a school bus, so that's like 20, 25 plus children.
Close to 30 at the very least. Yeah, haunting this bridge. And you want to maybe visit if the circumstances allow.
I mean, on the
crazy.
ground investigation.
You're crazy.
On the ground
You're crazy.
investigation.
You're crazy.
Loads of people do this.
That's wild.
It's very popular.
I do not agree. This has been the story of Spook Bridge. It has now been told. Thank you for listening to Georgia Untold here on Owl Radio.